and collaboration skills. I want to believe that this is not the first time that
Hello, I think our network is fluctuating. Yeah. So probably she'll be back. Our network is fluctuating, so she'll be back. Please, if your username, kindly change your username to your full name. I can see JB and I don't know who that is. Please kindly change your username to your full name and make sure your videos are on. There's a reason for that, please. Okay, I think she's
Hi,
back.
my apologies for that. I think my network is fluctuating. Kindly enable me to share my screen, please. Yeah, please, I need to share my screen. Hello?
Yes, you can share your screen.
Yeah, it's okay. Okay, so we move forward. So today we are going to be talking about teamwork and collaboration skills. I want to believe this is not the first time that we've had this topic, because when we talk about teamwork, it goes beyond workplace, also in a relationship, even in family, but most especially in a workplace. Because in, like the popular saying goes, no man is an island. No matter how intelligent, you cannot be better than everyone. So combination of everyone's skills, knowledge, and experience will help us, achieve our goal faster. So we are going to go into details with that as we move forward with our presentation. But before that, I just want to do a little introduction about myself. Okay, so this is me. My name is Loretta Udemba. I am an expert soft skill and behavioral trainer with over 10 years of experience. So I have a BSc. Can you guys hear me? Hello?
Yes, ma'am, we can hear you.
Okay. So I have a BSc in Mass Communication and Masters in Organizational Behavior from University of Lagos, and I'm a member of the Nigerian Institute of Training and Development. So I can say I have the capacity and the capability to actually deliver this training. And I hope it will be a very interactive session. I hope, with considering, what the platform that we are hosting this learning today. So today we are going to be looking at some highlights. It's definitely going to be deeper than what we have here on this our learning objective. We will look at, the nature of team and teamwork, understanding team building, components of team building, building a high performance team, and the stages of team development. So who is a team? Don't know how we can actually, I would like to hear from us from your own understanding. Forget about what you're seeing on the screen now. If you can share with me from your own understanding who a team, what do you understand by that word, a team? Who can say something?
Please, if
Sure
you want to speak, kindly indicate by raising up your hands. You can raise up your hands, then we'll pick the person, then you speak. Everybody, then the person that is speak, then you're mute, then you speak. But for now, mute your microphones, please.
Your microphone.
So if you want to speak, indicate by raising up your hands, then I will pick the person, then you can speak.
So do we have anyone that wants to share with us their understanding of a team? If you have worked in a team before, okay, Sunday or Samuto.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, Sunday. How are you?
I'm fine, ma'am.
Okay, so can we hear from you?
A team is a group of persons working together with the sole aim of achieving a particular purpose.
Okay, yes. Thank you very much for that. It's straight to the point. He said working together together with the sole aim of achieving a particular purpose. So it means when teams come together, when you have a team, it means they have to work together, not just one particular person working alone, but they have to work together towards achieving a particular purpose. For a group of people to actually be called a team, it means they have a purpose to achieve, not because they want to hang out. So thank you very much, Sandy, for that. So we'll go through what I have here. I said a team is a small group of people with complementary skills who actively, take note of that. That's why I actually highlighted that word, actively together. They work actively together to achieve a common purpose for which they hold themselves collectively accountable. So I want us to take note of that word, actively. I don't know how many of us have had the opportunity to work in an organization, or even during your studies while you were in school, if you have been in a team or a committee, how you understand what I mean, actively. Because if you are in a team and you are not working actively, then you cannot call yourself a member of that team. We've seen cases where people are part of a team, but they just become a bench warmer. They don't contribute. They don't even criticize. They don't add anything. So that is not the definition of a team. That is why I define it as a small group. It's from a larger group. They form a smaller group of people with complementary skills who are expected to work actively. Even if they are 10, every member of that team should work actively in order to achieve a common goal. And take note of the last word there. He said they will be held collectively accountable. So if the team fails, they will be held collectively accountable. And if they succeed, the glory will go to every member of that team. So if you find yourself in a team, you should have that at the back of your mind, that you are expected to work actively in that team. Regardless of how intelligent or how experienced you feel other members are. That is why it is called a team, because everything you have to contribute, no matter how small, is important to the growth of that team. For you to be added as a member of the team, it means you have something valuable to contribute to that team. And have it in mind that if this team fails, I fail. If this succeeds, I also succeed. So with that mindset, we will be able to work very well in the team and understand what a team entails. So moving forward, we'll still break it down, to know what that team is. In a team, people depend on each other. You can't do it alone. You've seen cases where in a small team, one particular person is usually outstanding. And from experience, my experience, and if any of you have had such experience, you see that such a person, there's a likelihood for such a person to be overwhelmed. At first, you might start off being the star of the team, but with time, by the time you are being the star of the team, you are showing that, oh, I don't need anybody, don't worry. Let's say, for example, you distribute assignment tasks and people are not coming forth with it. You just tell them, oh, don't worry, I can handle it. The person will be overwhelmed. At the end of the day, the team will not achieve anything. So one key thing I want us to learn today is that people depend on each other. in a team. People may or may not work in the same physical location. Yes, the pandemic has actually changed the narrative of work for us. We don't need to be in the same physical location. You know, looking at this our learning session, previously we usually hold it, you know, one-on-one, but now your facilitator, your instructor can, you know, be in another country, another state, while you are in a different state entirely, and we can still work together. So looking at the present, you know, work situation we have, that you are in a team does not mean you necessarily have to be in the same physical location. And lastly, they need to combine things to achieve something together. They need to combine their knowledge, experience to achieve something together. So everybody is important in a team. There is no least member of a team. There's no most important. You don't have the most important person in a team. Every member of the team is important and have something to contribute to the team. So if we look at this what we have here, team, we all know what team stands for. Together, everyone achieve more. And to explain more about the team, the benefit of working together as a team, the strength of working as a team, I want us to use this image we have on the screen as an illustration. Who can tell me the name of this image we have on the screen? If you know the answer, kindly raise up your hand and you'll be allowed to speak. Do you know what's the name of the bird on the screen? I don't even want to mention the bird. It's a bird, obviously. So what's the name of the bird? Hello, are we together? Hello?
Yes,
ma'am. We're with you, ma'am.
Can you hear me? Okay, so who knows the name of the bird on the screen?
An eagle.
An eagle? No. It's not an eagle. Who else wants to try? It's what?
An ostrich.
An ostrich.
Yes, ma'am.
It's not an ostrich. No. It's not an ostrich.
Eaglet.
Who else?
A duck.
Eaglet. No.
A duck.
Someone else. A duck.
A duck.
No. Okay. I think no. It's a goose. A goose.
Goose.
G-W-O-S-E. Yes.
Seriously?
So we are going to be looking at some lessons from the goose, how they work together as a team, they move together as a team. So I'll be sharing some facts about the goose to help us understand team and teamwork better. Number one fact, as we can see with goose, maybe later we can actually take our time to research and look at them better. Number one fact of a goose is that as they flap its wing, it creates an uplift for the bird. You know, they move together. Sorry. Okay. Yes. So they move together as they are moving. So the whole flock adds 71% greater flying range than if each bird flew alone. So it means when they are flying together in that formation, they are able to fly better. You know, they have a common sense of, you know, direction. No one will lose focus. They just, if later you can take a time and watch. I don't know if we have a Nat Geo wide fan here. So you watch maybe once or twice, you might have come across a video or a documentary about that bird. You know, they have this common direction, sense of community. It guides them. They are moving together in one direction. So it will be difficult for one or two of them to actually miss the route because they are focused, they are working together. Another fact is that when goose falls out of formation, it suddenly feels the drag and resistance of flying alone. Once they fall out of formation, the sky is huge, you know, it's massive, it's wide. So if they fall out of formation, it will, you know, feel it. It quickly moves back into formation to take advantage. You know, it quickly moves back into formation to take advantage of that power, you know, of that bird in front. That bird is.
This meeting is being recorded.
Are following. So that is how a team is. When you are with a team, you don't need to rely on your strength alone. you know that that little idea, which cannot even ordinarily stand on its own, can make great impact as a team, because it's just like a puzzle. By the time each member adds its own, it comes out into a whole that makes more sense. Another fact about the goose is that when the lead goose tires, it rotates back into the formation and another goose flies back to that point. So when the lead goose, the one in front, you know, the V formation, a particular bird is in the front. So when that one gets tired, it's, you know, it goes back and another goose take, you know, they have this understanding. That is one thing about team. You know, when you have a closely knitted team, they have this understanding that if one is getting tired, the other person quickly, you know, steps up. So that way there is no lack, there is no gap at all. You know, that is how, when they have this kind of, you know, closely knitted team. So that is how a team is supposed to work. As a team, you need to cover the weakness of your fellow team members. You know, you need to cover, when you notice a particular weakness, you cover it up, because you stand to gain nothing if the team fails as a result of one person's weakness. So it is your job as a team member, if you find yourself in a team, to actually make sure that you cover up the weakness of the other team members. And the last fact is that geese flying information help to encourage those up front to keep up their speed. The ones in the front, they make this kind of honking sound to encourage the ones at the back, especially when they are getting tired, to keep up the speed. So it means that in group, you need to encourage one another. When you see somebody slow, lagging behind, instead of you to be happy that, oh, this person, because sometimes it's a wrong notion some of us have, that we rise by stepping on others. Some people, they believe that they rise by stepping on others, but that is not actually how a team is supposed to work. We rise by lifting up others. So that way, even when your team members, they are lagging behind, it is your job to encourage them so that they can pick up the slack. So let us look at purpose of team. Organizations form teams to accomplish tasks that are too large or complex for an individual to complete. Teams are also effective for work that require different types of skill and expertise. For example, in some organizations, they can form teams for new products. They might have need maybe to launch a new product, and they will form a fresh team so that they will think about how they will go about launching that new product, the publicity, everything that entails, you know, in launching that new product. I don't know if we can also share other examples of teams, smaller teams that we have been part of, while either during the course of our studies, or if either of us have had any work experience.
Hello?
Who is ready to share with us? Hello, can you hear me? Are we together?
Yeah, it went off for.
Oh, it went
minutes.
Off.
It went
okay,
off
yes. Okay. So I'm talking about the purpose of team. That teams, especially in an organizational setting, they are formed to accomplish tasks that are too large or complex for an individual to complete, or even for the whole organization. So sometimes they just create a smaller team. While the organization is focused on its objective and its mission, a smaller team can be created to accomplish that task. Hello, are we together? Hello?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Yes.
Yes, we are.
Okay, so I want us to share examples of teams that we have been part of, either as a committee during our undergraduate days, or if we have had any experience, you know, of working, if you have been part of a team. I want us to share. I also have my own example based on experience, but I want maybe like 2 or 3 of us to share so that we can also learn from one another. I'm seeing that 2 participants raised their hands. So who is going first? I'm not seeing the people that raised their hands. Let me move this. Okay, so Sunday has said something. So let's hear from Latifat. Latifat, you can unmute.
Okay. So good morning, everybody. My name is Latifat Fashno. But I don't know how much you want us to speak about the team, or we should just say.
No, just briefly, like 2 minutes, just share with us, go directly, you've been part of this team, what the purpose of the team was, yes, the reason, the purpose that that team was created, or a committee. Just share with us, yes.
Okay, the team that was part of that I want to share with you today is for my undergraduate research project. So for my
Okay.
supervisor, we had like 8 students under him. So we now subdivided into four people. So each four group had was a team. Like, so my own team now was the team leader, and it was via so that experience sorry, that little, what will I call it, experience I really learned from it, because one of those things that we had to do was to go for night shifts. Apart from day shifts, we do night shifts because we're working, like, I'm a biochemistry student, we're working on live samples, and most times there's no light, so we have to do night shifts to block to in order to achieve much. So part of those things I explained that, like, I was the team leader quite all right, and I'm a kind of person that can actually withstand probably not sleeping for a long time or so. But there's some members of my team that, God, because of that night shifts, like, they don't even want you to place them on night shifts, and if they come after the first maybe like 30 minutes, first 1 hour or so, they are gone, and it's like the whole work is on me. So they kind of like taught me to identify each person's strength and try to leverage on it, so that it's so and try to leverage on it so that it won't be only me. So those people that I know that they sleep early like that, or so it's either I make them first sleep, then probably towards the end of the time I would have calculated the hour as okay, or this is what you do. Or maybe I give them tasks that know how, or I tell them, okay, what are those things that will keep you not sleeping? They're probably playing music or stuff. So I just make them do something that will keep them, and I just leveraged on their strengths. So it's one of those things I can pick from that experience. Yeah.
Okay. So I hope you were able to achieve the purpose of the team, because that's the whole essence of a team. When a larger group is broken down into, the smaller group in order to achieve goal. And from what she has shared with us, when you have little teams like that, it makes it possible for us to achieve goal faster, especially when you are working with a smaller number of people compared to where you need to work with the whole large number. Are we together? Hope you can hear me. Hello?
Yes,
Yes,
Yes.
We can hear you.
Okay. Yes. So from the experience she shared, she said as a team leader, she had difficulty working with some people before she was able to, identify their peculiarities, their strengths, and their weakness. So imagine working with a larger number of like 100, and how difficult it would be to achieve such, a goal with such number of people. So that is why especially in an organization, because our focus here today will be team in an organization. In an organization, if there is a particular task to be accomplished, sometimes the management, they form a smaller group and give them that task. That way it is easier and faster for them to achieve that goal, while the organization is still focused on the larger goal, which is the vision and the mission of the organization. Let's hear from Adeosun. 2 minutes, please. Adeosun, kindly share with us.
Yes, ma. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
My name is Adeosun Adedoyin Dikro. Now, recently, I am made a team leader of a particular organization. It's about women. So we were told to, we want to organize a sister seminar. So we were 7 in number in the committee. So, and I made the head of the committee. So most times, people go to work and the like. So most times we don't really meet one-on-one. So we meet online. So whenever we want to meet online like that, I send them messages that there will be a meeting at a particular time. So along the line, so many of them give many excuses like by the time they get home at that particular time, they will have been tired, this and that. And like, in fact, some even went to the extent of telling me that they don't have data, they don't do this. And I went as far as sending them data. Sometimes I share with them. So along the line, most of them are not really like actively partaking in that committee. So I have to report to the head of those that organize the committee that come and see, these people are not really working with me, and it's dragging us back. Like, we are having this seminar by early April now, and we've not planned like what needs to be put in place. Thank God I've been able to get some things. I've been able to gather some things. but as a team, they are not really working very well with me, and I don't understand that. I went as far as sending them data. Some will say they are tired. I even tell them, just tell me anytime you will be available, either weekends, anytime, just message me. I will be available at that particular time. You will be available. But yet there are some still give excuses. In fact, some will not even attend. I will go as far as calling them at that particular time that the meeting is starting now, yet they will not respond. So that has been the experience I've so far.
So,
yes.
So how were you able to achieve the goal of that team eventually?
Actually,
or are you currently still?
Yes, we are still on it. The program is starting by early April. So it's just a 2 days program. So I've been able to gather some things like the venue, the publicity aspect, and the funds aspect. In fact, it was even the part of the fund, the financial aspect, that everybody were like, no, we are we are students, we are this, we are that. The money we are collecting monthly is not enough, like that. So I just told them that at least the little we can gather, let's just put it down. Then we typed letter of assistance too. We tried to distribute to them. Thank God we've been seeing a good response from our sponsors too.
Okay, thank you very much, Adeosun, for that. One thing I picked, I want to emphasize from what she has shared with us is that in a larger group, if there's a task to be achieved, a specific task to be achieved, the whole group cannot just face, all its attention to that task. They need to create a smaller group. I want to believe why they created that committee for them to organize that program. The larger group, they are still focused, on their vision and their mission. So that is the essence of creating a team in an organization from a larger group, so they can actually, execute that task. In my former organization where we work, that they established a disciplinary committee. And the purpose of that committee is to look into any disciplinary report from any employee. So before any conclusion is made, this committee will come together, we'll carry out our own investigations and find out if that employee is actually guilty of that accusation. So while we are doing that, the organization itself is still focused on its business. At the end of our investigation and our meeting, we will now render our report to the management team, where the final conclusion will be made as regards that employee. There are other type of team also. I've been privileged to be part of various teams. There's another team I was part of in another organization, it's called the SBU team, the strategic business unit team. There we come together, we look at the business on a weekly basis, we look at the challenges of the business, we carry out SWOT analysis almost on a weekly basis, we review our progress, what we are doing well and what we need to do. So it's a smaller team, and in that team, everybody had a role to play. Because before we start such a meeting, we all give our report. So we all have our tasks, we have our assignments. So that way, nobody has any reason to actually lag behind, because you are expected to give a report of the task that has been given to you. So that is how a team works. That way we are able to, contribute to the organization, help the organization to achieve its, its larger goal, which is the vision and the mission. So we are going to move forward looking at the types of teams that we have in an organization. So we have different types of team, across various organizations, but I'm going to be grouping them, into smaller groups. It might be different from other organizations, but generally, these are the type of teams that we have currently. So we have the work team, the problem-solving team, management team, and virtual team. So let's look at it in details in this slide. The work team, these are primarily concerned with the work done by the organization, such as developing and manufacturing new products. Such a team can be found in a manufacturing firm where they have this team that thinks about, what new product are we going to bring out for our customers? Not just even manufacturing team, even a service organization. You think about what new service, are we going to bring out, provide for our clients. based on client requests, based on popular demand. So they have a particular team that are focused on that. They think about new things, new products, new services that they can bring out, from the organization that will make sure that their customers are satisfied, to keep their customer engaged and satisfied at all times. So we also have the problem-solving team. Hello, are we together? Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Yeah, so we also have the problem-solving teams. Okay. These are temporary teams established to attack specific problems in the workplace, especially in cases of, service failure. If a service failure, a great service failure has been reported in an organization, they can create a problem-solving team to identify the cause of that service failure, carry out investigation, find out if the cause of the service failure was due to a particular employee or a group of people. So these are temporary groups. So after carrying out such investigation, they find out the cause of that service failure. Then a report is rendered to the management team, and a solution is profiled. And this kind of problem-solving team, they are usually cross-functional. What do I mean by that? These teams are made up from members from various departments. You can have people from the finance department, you have people from, let's say, production, you have people from, human resources, all coming together, to form that problem-solving team. And it is usually temporary. After they finish the assignment that's been given to them, the team is dissolved and they go back to their various functions. Then thirdly, we have the management team. This consists of managers from various areas, various departments, and they coordinate work team. These are managers from various departments. They coordinate the various work team in an organization. They are relatively permanent. The management team is permanent because they look at how, the holistic goal of the organization. They either meet monthly, in most cases. They meet monthly to review, the organization's progress and other things that they need to discuss that is affecting the organization. Management team must concentrate on the things that have the most impact on overall corporate performance. In management team, when they come together, they have reports. They report about their various departments, the progress they are making, the challenges they are facing, and the new things that they want to contribute to achieve its overall goal. Then lastly, looking at the current trend that we have, the work trend we have virtual teams now. Virtual teams, they don't need to be in the same physical location. They can be different places and still come together to achieve a common goal. They can meet, through the various medium that we have now, Zoom, Microsoft Teams, teleconferencing, and other means of communication. So for now, we have other types of team, but I try to subgroup them into all these teams, like the problem-solving team, the example that I mentioned about the disciplinary committee that I was part of. It's also a part of the problem-solving team, because after solving that particular problem at that point, we dissolve, go back to our various work posts to come back later if such cases arises. So even if we look at committees, sometimes if an organization wants to organize a program, a conference, or even a party, those kind of committee can also be grouped under the problem-solving team, because there's a problem and there's a challenge at hand, they want to solve it. So after organizing, like the experience Adeoshun shared with us, after the seminar that they want to organize, everybody will go back to their various, job, what they are doing. So because they have a particular task to accomplish. I want us to look at now what is teamwork. Teamwork. This occurs when group members actively work together in such a way that all their respective skills are well utilized to achieve a common goal. If we are looking at team in this current trend that we have now, when a group of people come together, you see someone that is, very good in analyzing, information, details, data. We have someone that is good with IT skills. You still have in that same team, you have someone that is good with documentation. So when such people come together, hello, are we together? Hello?
Yes, no.
Yes.
Hi,
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, yes. Okay. So when such people come together, that is what we talk about teamwork. You have different skills. I might be good with documentation, taking note of all the things that are going on in the team, or assigning responsibility, while you see others that are good with actually executing. You have people that are good with idea generation in a team. They can come up with wonderful ideas, but they might not have that capacity to actually execute it. So we have different people with different abilities in a team. So when they come together, they are able to achieve a common goal. That is why I said earlier on that in a team, everybody is important. We are all important in a team. No one is more important than the other person in a team. So teamwork is when we all come together, bringing our various ability, our various skills, experience, knowledge, bringing it together to achieve a common purpose. So, and in a teamwork, there are activities that we can do to actually encourage one another. And the purpose of team building activities is to motivate people to work together, to develop their strengths, and to address any weaknesses. Before now, I actually planned for this learning session to be physical. So there's some activities I wanted us to do, but it's not something we can actually us how teamwork is, and how team building works. That we might not be able to do that through this virtual platform. So moving forward, I would like to talk about advantages of teams and teamwork. But before I go there, I want us to share. I want us to share what we think are the advantages of teamwork, working together as a team. Because everything that we have the advantages and disadvantage. So I want us to share some advantages that we know of, that we've gained from working in a team. So I would like to hear from those that have not shared with us, have not said anything. So kindly raise up your hand so that you can share with us. Yes, I can see Abigail, I see Ezekiel, Adebola, okay, Adejoke. So the four of them, okay, so I'll start with Abigail. So can you share with us some of the advantages? I want you, if you can give us practical example, that will be okay, of what you have enjoyed, as a member of a team. So Abigail, over to you.
Good morning, Ma. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, Abigail.
I think one of the most important benefits of teamwork is that it makes a work faster. You can imagine
yes,
the work that one person is doing, and then you have a team of like 4 or 5 persons doing that particular work. It makes a resolution, it makes whatever purpose they are trying to achieve faster. I currently work team apps, and initially when we started the work, I was just the first person managing Enugu State. But currently we have about 6 persons doing that particular same work, and you can see the effectiveness and you can see the impact, because people get their issues resolved faster. You always have persons on ground of the day to attend to you.
Okay, thank you, Abigail. So the main point she made here is that working as a team makes achieving goals, tasks faster than when one person. And remember, it's either you work as a team or not even just individually. If you don't have a team that have been assigned to a task, if everybody, you are in a group and we are all asked to do something, nobody will do it. Because remember, anybody is nobody, and everybody can also be nobody. But when we have a team that are specifically assigned, because when we're talking about a team, we are a group of people that are tasked specifically, you know, to work together to achieve a goal. So I want us to have that in mind, because if we are not together, it means we are all scattered, then nothing will be achieved. That is the only way things can be achieved faster. So thank you, Abigail, for that point you raised. Working together as a team makes achieving a task faster. So I'll move on to Ezekiel. Ezekiel, let's hear from you.
Hello, good afternoon.
Ezekiel, good afternoon.
Oh, good morning. Yeah, one of the advantages of working in a team, apart from the speed, is it enhances personal growth. Yeah, for example, you are in a team and, you know, basically a team is made up of persons from different backgrounds and different ways of thinking. Now, when you work in a team, you get to meet people who bring diverse ideas that are different from what you would normally think, and it therefore encourages innovation. Okay. Then, secondly, another advantage is when you work in a team, there is less burnout. For example, someone who wants to design a website, you know, designing a website has so many branches, like so many specialties involved in it. For example, you need a graphic designer, you need, even that graphic design, you also have sub specialties like those who do logos, those who would design the layout. So when you work in a team, there's less. There's less burnout.
Okay, so Ezekiel, I want you to round up your points. Yes, you have made two vital points here. So Ezekiel said from his experience, working together as a team enhances personal growth. And how does it do that? Like we've all said, as a team, we have different people from different experience, different knowledge, you know, different exposure, coming together to work as a team. So for someone that is wise, I'll use that word, for someone that is wise, working as a team, you are able to gain something from the other person. When they are contributing based on their area of strength, you are able to gain something. If you're working together in a team and a particular individual, it starts with the responsibility of, you know, carrying out digital marketing for that team or social media publicity, and it's something you don't know about. It's some, you know, you can use that opportunity to actually learn more about social media marketing from that member of a team. So that is one thing, one way of achieving personal growth through teamwork. And he said another thing, less burnout. And this also relates with the example that Abigail shared with us. You know, when you are working together in a team, there's less burnout. You have, because the tasks are divided. There is division of labor compared to where an individual is working or where there is no team and everybody just work the way they like. So there is less burnout when you work together as a team. Thank you, Ezekiel, for that point. So Adebola, can we hear from you before we move on? Gloria, I'll have Adebola and Gloria. So after that, we'll move on with our presentation. So Adebola, let's hear from you.
Good morning, everybody. Well done, Ma. Thanks for the seminar thus far.
Good morning.
Yes, Ma. Working as a team, one of the best thing that can come out is productivity, effective productivity. You might think one way fits what you're doing, but when you work as a team, you have ideas of how it can also be done even better. And that's something that I take from teamwork. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very, very much, Adebola. Productivity. Yes, you achieve results faster, you know, compared to when one person or the whole group are just working randomly. So when there's team that are specifically tasked towards a particular assignment, there will be high level of productivity, high results will be achieved. So lastly, I'm sorry, Flores, you might not be able to, you know, hear your view now, but later on we'll hear from you. So Gloria, Let's hear from you.
Okay, thank you, Ma. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Go on, Gloria.
Okay. Working as a team, it helps one discover his strengths and weakness. In probably you are given an assignment in that team, maybe something you've never done before. It helps you, enables you to know how strong you are doing a particular thing. New things you can, invent, things you can, new ideas, new tasks you can take up that you never knew, new skills you never knew were there that you had them. So it also helps you just know your weakness and also how you are able and being able to, manage those weaknesses to achieve the team results. So that's one of those things.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Gloria, for that point. He said it helps us working together in a team, helps us to discover our strength and weakness. Like you said, you might be given a task in a team and you don't even know, you've not done something like that before. And because of that responsibility that has been placed on you, you move yourself. And we human beings, our brain, the capacity, what we can do is limitless. We don't even know that because we've not taxed ourselves to do that. So sometimes working in a team and giving a responsibility that you've not done before, it will move you to actually discover that inbuilt strength that you never knew you had. So that is one advantage of working as a team. I'm very happy that we all know this, and I hope that when we find ourselves in any team, you can find yourself in various organizations, even in your church, even in a place of study, you find yourself in a team, and you who knows, you might be made a team leader. So if you don't understand team dynamics and how team works, you might not be able to achieve that result that the team has been tasked with. So thank you very much for your contribution so far. So let's look at what I have here. You've shared your own point, your advantage of working as a team or teamwork. So from what I have here, a team broadens what individuals can do, which also, collaborates the same points that some of us have made. Several heads mean a wider range of ideas. When you are working together, you have several heads where you meet any bottleneck, somebody else can come up with an idea that will take the team forward. Teams have a great array of strengths and skills. Imagine when you have 10 members of a team, it means you in a team. So it means you have people, you have 10 different talents, you have 10 different skills that will come together when properly harnessed, can give you a wonderful result. Teams have team members learn new skills from their colleagues. We mentioned this. Team is more efficient than a number of individuals working singularly when you are just working on your own. The teams are more efficient. When you work together as a team, you have more results, productivity. Team provides relief when someone's having a problem. If you're working together in a team and you are having an individual is having a problem, that person can, there's a particular noise in the background. Okay. So when you're working together in a team, hello, can you hear me? Are we together?
Yes, ma'am.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes,
There's a particular background noise there.
Adele, mute your mic.
Adebolale.
Please. Thank you. Okay. So when we are working together in a team, if one person is down, it will not be obvious because the other members are there to pick up the slack. If you are working compared to when you are just working on your own, it means if that individual is down, the job is down, nothing is moving forward. A team member has more ownership of what she's doing. This is where in a situation whereby in a team tasks are being distributed, then everyone has ownership. One thing we need to understand about a team is that if you are working in a team and tasks are not distributed, we are just everybody who just work the way they like, you might not achieve results. But where people take ownership is when when that whole task is still being broken further. into bits, bits and bits. And then such bits are assigned to individuals in the team. That way, people take ownership of that little bits that they are given. And by the time you bring all the little bits together, it makes up a whole result. And a shared vision keeps everyone moving forward. In a team, people need to agree. They need to believe what they are, sharing. They need to believe the task ahead. But if they don't believe, that is where you see the team leader begging people to, contribute their own part, do their own, play their role, because they don't have that shared vision. So in the situation where they have shared vision, you see that, the team members are able to work seamlessly without any issues. So we've discussed the advantages of a team, and now want us to look at the disadvantages of a team. What are the disadvantages of a team? Working together as a team. We can say, let's say the bad experience you've had working, in a team is also a disadvantage. Some people will tell you, I rather work alone than to work with people. Maybe because they've had, bad experience working in a team. So I want us to also share some examples or experience that we've had working in a team. Okay, so Wanyoma is raising up her hand. Solomon, so I have Wanyoma. Abigail, Wanyoma, Solomon. So I'll start with Abigail. Abigail, you can share with us the advantages of teams and teamwork.
Although I did not raise my hand for this particular one now. Hello, ma.
Okay. Okay. Oh, I saw the sign. Okay.
I think teamwork, when not properly managed, can equally cause or lead to ineffectiveness. Like they will always say that a goat that the community feeds actually dies of hunger.
Mm-hmm.
So when working as a team, and there is no proper division of labor, and the persons involved do not understand it's not in they don't have this the same interests. You will see that everybody is just dodging the work. Nobody is trying to come up or own up. Everybody is just trying to see if the next person will do it. So teamwork can actually lead to ineffectiveness when not
Okay. Thank you very much, Abigail. So Wanyoma, let's hear from you.
Okay.
Wanyoma, you can mute your mic.
Yeah, I've done that. Yeah, good afternoon. Or good morning. Okay, one of the disadvantages of teamwork, it brings about in conclusion. Sometimes when people are in a team,
it brings about what?
In conclusion, in decision making. Sometimes when people are in team, coming to agree at a particular thing is usually different. It's usually very difficult, especially when everybody wants to be heard at once and everybody feels that their own opinion are valid. Then it becomes very difficult for people in that particular team to reach an agreement. Take for instance, now during my service year, in my group, in my community development group, so we wanted to organize a community development program, maybe do something for the community in my group. So decisions, every time we hold a meeting, then this person will come up with her own opinion, this person will come up with her own opinion, and this person will say, no, it shouldn't be so, and this person will say, no, it shouldn't be so. Then we'll reschedule, postpone the meeting, and then at the end of the day, we'll come back, the same thing. So we understood that at a point, people got tired. They were just like, you will call for a meeting, is the same thing, this person doesn't want to agree. So it brings about a conclusion because everybody wants to be heard and everybody wants their own opinion to be heard and everybody wants, let it be mine, that will be done. So that's it.
Okay, thank you very much, Wanyoma. So it's working together as a team. Sometimes decisions, it is difficult for decision to be made, indecision, because everybody has something to say and everybody wants their own decision, their own contribution to be the one that is valid. So especially in a team where there is no unity and where there is no head, assigned head, or where the leadership is not strong enough, to bring people together, you have situations like that. They will not be able to make a decision. They will come for a meeting. At the end of the meeting, nothing would be achieved in such a situation. Please, if you have contributed, kindly remove the hand signal so that we know those that are actually in line to contribute. I think Solomon, yes, I've seen your hand. Okay, Solomon, unmute your mic.
Okay, yes, one of the disadvantages of teamwork is that there are some members of the team that tend to be relaxed or lackadaisical about their work, knowing that their members are competent and would cover up for them. Like I've worked in a team where a particular member did not contribute anything significant, knowing that the other members would do that same task and do it effectively. So for me, not all members of a team might be productive or efficient. They might choose to leave the tasks for other members to do, knowing that the team as a whole want to succeed. So other members will definitely cover for them so that that task will be completed on time and effectively.
Yes, thank you very much, Solomon. That is unfortunately one of the disadvantages of working in a team. You have people like that are not ready to put in the work. I've had such experience during my MSc in Unilag. We usually are given group assignments, and that requires research, and every other thing. But in a group of 10, you have like 5 people that are not even interested. They don't even ask what is going on because they know that if the group fails, then you have failed. So in order to make sure that their inability or their lack of contribution does not affect your grade, what do? You go extra mile to cover up the gap. So that is one disadvantage of sometimes working in a team. You have to cover up for others. It makes you, especially those people that are serious in that group, it makes them to work harder, putting more effort in order to cover the lapses of the other group members that are not ready to put in the work. So that is some members, when you are working in a group, they decide that it's an opportunity for them to be relaxed. They have this nonchalant attitude towards the task at hand. Unfortunately, that is, a disadvantage of working as a team. Thank you, Solomon, for that. I think someone, JB, I saw JB. Yes, JB, you can unmute. And
good afternoon. Good morning. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Joshua Bolaniwa.
Okay.
One of the disadvantages of teamwork is it could lead to time wasting, as tasks are being distributed equally amongst team members. We find out that some persons, their contribution towards the teamwork isn't what is expected, thereby causing a setback in achieving the expected goal. Thank you.
Thank you very much, JB, for that contribution. Yes, it can lead to time wasting, especially when you are waiting for the other team members, to bring in their contribution. That is where you see cases where other team members that are serious and more active, they take up the bulk of the work in order to cover up. And you see cases where such things happen are where there is no repercussion or where there is no impact, where there is no something attached to it. When they know that the whole group will be given either the glory or they fail together. So in such situations, some people decide to just, relax, have this nonchalant attitude. And if the other members are waiting for them to pick up their responsibility, they might be delayed, in the delivery of the task at hand. Thank you very much for your contribution. So we move forward to see what we have on our slide. One of them is called social loafing. Social loafing is a term in team dynamics where you have some member of a group just moving around, achieving nothing, playing around, while others are actually putting in the work. They will be doing other things because they know that the group is working, that the group will have the presentation. I don't know, some of us maybe during our studies, we've been part of a group assignment, like a group of 10, it's only 5 that actually put in the work. But during presentation, you see everybody will come out. Even those that do not even know the topic of the presentation, you see them, they will come out and they will just there, standing there at the background. At the end of the day, they also share in the accolade and the glory that will come from such teamwork. So unfortunately, social loafing, is one disadvantage of working in a team. It's a common problem that is found in a team and teamwork. Another problem that is found in team is personality conflict. In a team, you have different personality. You have the introverts, you have the extroverts, you have those that are very loud, you have the silent people. So in cases where you have such people, there might likely be personality conflict, and those things, if not properly checked, can affect the performance of the team, because rather than the team focusing on its tasks and goals, they will be busy resolving personal disputes, and settling quarrels among team members due to their personality difference. And another disadvantages of team is individual differences in work style. Some people they believe in fire brigade approach. If the deadline is not tomorrow, they can never send in their reports until they see, oh, deadline is tomorrow. That is when they start working. Why some people they have this approach of starting their tasks on time. If they are given a task in a deadline, a timeline of 2 weeks, they start immediately, and they want other members of their team to also start at the same time. So at least they will finish like a week or 5 days, to deadline. So when you have people with different work styles, it might lead to conflict in a team. Another thing that is a disadvantage in a team is ambiguous agenda. When you have, something, an agenda that is not clear, it can serve as a disadvantage because people can interpret it differently. And poor readiness to work. You have people that are not ready to work. Especially, there are people, they tell you, I like working in a team. Why do they like working in a team? Because they know that when they work in a team, it's an opportunity for them to relax, and be laid back. They will not stress themselves because they know that other member of the team will put in the work. That's when if you see them say, I like working in a team, you might think that this person is a good team player. It's a lie. They want to work in a team so that while other people are working, they can face other teams. At the end of the day, they call them OES member. Have you heard of the term OES member? That is what they are. They just want to be part of the team so that they can share the glory and not even put in the work. So we have those in the team that they have poor readiness to work, and also lack of motivation. It's another disadvantage of team, because especially when you see few people that are ready, sometimes in a team you feel intimidated. I don't know if you find yourself in that kind of team. Let's say in a team of 10, you have like 4 people that are active, they are moving, they are bringing in ideas, they are, bringing in suggestion, they are faster, their pace of bringing ideas is faster than others. So that way, other members of that team might lack that motivation to even say something. They might feel, oh, what can I even say to meet up with this kind of contribution? So there might be lack of motivation. And also members coming to meetings unprepared. When they just come to meeting, you don't have your report, you don't have the tasks that's been given to you, it's a disadvantage. Imagine when you should come, you are representing yourself with such an individual not putting the work. If you have to come to a meeting as your own self, as an individual, a task is given to you by the management or by your MD or your head of department, definitely such an individual will not go to a meeting unprepared, because you have to answer for yourself. But in a situation where they know that other team members are there, they put in the work, there might be this tendency of coming to meetings unprepared. Also, another disadvantages of a team is that decision making takes longer, which someone mentioned. Decision making takes longer because everybody wants their decision to be heard. Everybody wants to make a point. Regardless, they don't even want to even understand if the other person's point is more vital or that point will actually help the group to achieve its goal. So due to such conflict, decision making will take longer. The team's successes may hang on the work of the least effective team member. You might have a team member that is not effective and that person has a vital role to play. Maybe the person needs to do that final work that will actually help that team submit its result, and that person is lagging behind. Such an individual would affect the team success. Team members may be reluctant to tell others about their unsatisfactory work. You might be like, oh, I don't want them to say bad about me. You are in a team and you see that the team is heading towards the wrong direction. Some people might not even say anything. They'll keep quiet, because they don't want them to tag them as the devil's advocate. Lastly, lost motivation for lack of individual recognition. This happens mostly in a larger team. When a team is more than 10, let's say between 10 and 15, that team is a big team, is a large team. And if the leader is not careful, some members of that team, they might lose the motivation due to lack of recognition, especially when you have few active members in the team. They will just take the whole glory. They don't give room for other people to contribute. That way, it will lead to, loss of motivation in some members of that team. So we've discussed the advantages and disadvantages of a team. And regardless of that, we still need to know that working in a team pays more than working as an individual. The advantages that we have mentioned, they are far more than working as an individual. It pays more only if we understand what we need to do as a team member. So we are moving forward, discussing team building. So now we have discussed team. Now we understand team. We know it before now. We have discussed what team is all about, teamwork, advantages and disadvantages of team. So now let's talk about building a team, team building. Team building is an important factor in any organization. Its focus is to specialize in bringing out the best in a team to ensure self-development, positive communication, leadership skills, and the ability to work closely together as a team to resolve problems. One thing that I've experienced from my own personal experience is that team building helps individuals to discover their leadership skills. There are people that they've never had the opportunity to lead any group before, but because they found themselves in a team, whether knowingly or unknowingly, consciously or unconsciously, they don't know how the leadership that role just fell upon them. And I know that some of us have such experience to share. Who wants to share such experience with us? Just one person, that you just found yourself as a leader of a team. You did not plan for that. You've not done such a role before, but the leadership of that team just fell on you and you have no choice but to lead the team. Who can share with us such example or experience? Okay, James. James, let's hear from you. Hello, James. You have to speak a bit louder. Okay.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you very much. So briefly, good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
So briefly, I actually had such experience, and I do not forget it in a hurry. It was in 300 level in school. So I actually got a flair for IT and media. I joined the media department in the fellowship then, Redeemed Christian Fellowship. A couple of 4 persons that were in the department. So unknown to me, the person that was heading the department was leaving. I think he actually had a travel abroad, so he was leaving the country, and they were still looking for who to make the leader and all that. So the lady was actually leading, but she was not really into it, was complaining and all. And I just joined the department in like the second Sunday. I joined the first Sunday. The second Sunday, I brought an article for the publication for the bulletin, and then I left for IT. So while I was, this one, it was even so amazing in the sense I was not even in school, I was on IT. But when they looked at the number of persons, just 5 persons, I don't know how they landed on my name and called me while I was on IT. They informed me that I was the leader. So I was like, how? The department I just joined last Sunday. Okay, I just joined 2 Sundays, submitted an article last Sunday. I'm not even in school. I'm in Lagos. I came for they said when I come out from IT, I should come and take up the role, that the role is waiting for me. And I've not done that before. I've never led anything. I've only and my family, my siblings. So it was actually
it was a challenging experience for you.
Challenging experience for me.
Yeah.
Challenge.
Okay.
I took it up and
okay. And you were able to execute, right? You were able to deliver.
Met from
Hello,
5.
James.
Yeah.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Hello, James.
Yes. Can you hear me?
We can hear you now, but your network was fluctuating earlier.
Okay.
Hello.
I said, we're able to.
Yes, I think, I don't know if it's on my own end. Okay.
So before I left,
okay. Hello, James.
Yes, I
can hear him.
Hello.
I think it's a network.
Yes, it's a network because I can hear you clearly from here.
Oh.
Yes, I can hear you, James.
It's fluctuating.
Okay, can you hear me?
I cannot hear you.
Okay. James,
it seems you are playing music. You are playing event.
Since we can't hear you, please, can you please mute your mic?
I cannot hear you, James.
Who is that one? We can hear James.
James, I can't hear you.
James, we can hear you.
James, you have haters on this on this call. You have a lot of haters.
Hello, please. I think the lecturer's network is fluctuating. Please, I can hear some music in the background.
I'm back online now.
Okay.
Yeah, so James, thank you for sharing such. So I didn't get the last part of it. You actually, so I asked the question, were you able to deliver?
Yes, of course. We at the end of the session, the department grew from a membership of 5 persons to about 25
okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we had
okay. So sorry, we need to move forward. My network, I need to be as fast as possible. It seems the network connection on my end is getting worse. So thank you very much, James, for sharing your experience with us. Gloria. Hello, Gloria, can you hear me? Can you guys hear me? Hello?
Yes, I hear you.
Yes, we can you guys hear me? Okay, good. Thank you, James. Thank you very much for that. Yeah, so from the experience that James shared with us, he was not ready for a leadership role. And, it came to him and he delivered. So what if he didn't take up that role? He might not know in him to actually do that. So when we find ourselves in a team, it helps to build us. Team building helps to bring out the best in us. You see yourself doing things that you've never found that you cannot imagine that you will do. Some people will tell you, oh, I cannot stand in front of people, I can't talk to people, I'm shy. But when that leadership role falls on them, that shyness will just disappear, you know. So thank you once again, James, for that. So someone else was raising up her hand. Someone else raised up her hand. I cannot see that. Florence, no. Who else raised up their
Okay,
hand?
it was Gloria.
Okay.
Hello,
okay,
ma.
I'm trying to search for the person that raised up. Yes. Gloria.
Yes, ma.
Can you introduce
That was
yourself?
me.
Because I'm trying to search for the person that raised up her hand to share with us.
Okay, that was me.
Okay. Okay.
That was
So
me.
can you share with us briefly the experience you've had?
Okay, ma. Okay,
Gloria.
it's actually
Okay.
yes, ma. I can hear you. Okay, it's actually of recent. There's actually a group where I belong, and we had a meeting like 2 weeks back, and then somebody okay, we were asked to introduce ourselves and how we got to know each member of the group and all that.
Oh,
So
I can't hear you, Gloria.
Hello,
Ma, I guess it's from your side because I can hear her.
Okay, can you hear Gloria? Can we all hear her?
Yes.
Yes, I can hear.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, you can hear Gloria.
I can't hear Gloria.
Who is that one now?
Who is that?
Gloria, I can't hear you.
Because I know you can hear her.
Leave the meeting for us.
We can hear. Very well, we can hear.
Okay, can I continue, ma? Hello,
No.
ma.
Continue, please continue.
All right. Okay, I was
Gloria,
saying
continue. I can hear you.
All right, thank you, ma. I was saying there's actually a group where I belonged, and 2 weeks back we had a meeting because we hold meetings like once every 2 weeks. So we're asked to introduce ourselves and how we know each member of the group and all that, and the relationship. So most of the people in the group actually know them personally on a personal note, some in church, some way back in school and all that. And then when introductions were done and they were like, Gloria invited me to this group, oh, she was my political mama, blah, blah, blah. And this one was like, Gloria introduced me to the group, oh, she was my leader in church and all that. And at the end of the day, they were nominating for positions like, okay, who will take up this particular task in the group and all that. And everybody was like, okay, Gloria will have to be the director and all. And I'm like, me, I'm more of a secretary, like backup. I don't do all this. I don't like fronting myself and all that. I like background work and all. And everybody's saying, Gloria, come and do this one. How do I start? And so they said that you must do it, or you will find the way. After all, you have always been secretary. So now you should come and lead. And so I didn't have a choice. When majority had voted me in, I just had to take it up. And since then, I've been doing research, trying to it's actually a health project. So I've never really taken up such tasks. So I'm trying to do a research and get in touch with people who can put me through and all that. So that's actually stumbling into a
Thank you very
position
much, Gloria.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Okay. Okay, thank you, Gloria, for that. Thank you for that experience that you've shared with us. So from what they
I can't hear you. Is there anyone that's hearing?
I think our network is fluctuating. She'll be back.
Please, someone should throw power bank for me. I'm almost
My network is fluctuating. My apologies for that. So I will quickly go through my slides. I'm supposed to round up by 1. Can you guys hear me now?
Yes, we
Yes,
can.
Yes. Yes.
we
So
can.
okay, please. My apologies for that. The network is fluctuating. So let's move on. Thank you very much for the experience that you shared so far with us. So it means we are all on the same page. So talking about team building. Team building can also refer to the process of selecting or creating a team from scratch when you are building. The process of working with a team to clarify its tasks and how team members can work together to achieve that. So that is, when we talk about team building, we are building, a team from the scratch. And not only team, building the individuals in that team. Going by the experience that you have shared with us so far, you are able to, discover that strength in you. Like Gloria said, she was a secretary. She does not know anything about leading the team, but majority, they saw something in her, maybe that she's not seeing in herself. She sees herself as a secretary. She works in the background. She takes note of the meeting. But others are seeing a leader in her. But I want to believe that after that experience, she has discovered that inner leadership in her. Next time, when that opportunity comes, definitely she will not shy away from it. So team building is a strategy that can help groups to develop into real team. When people that are not, linked together through the process of team building and people discovering themselves, they are able to build, into a real team. So let's look at components of team building. What are the things that actually makes up a team that helps us to build a team to be, a very effective and, and be able to achieve the set goals? One, we need to focus on contribution. When we are building team, as a team leader or as a team lead, you need to focus on the contribution of every members of that team. Hello, are we together? Are you guys hearing me?
Yes, ma. We can hear you, ma.
Okay. So we need to focus. Thank you. We need to focus on the contribution of every team member. As a team lead, you don't overlook the contribution of any member of a team. And you also need to develop a participatory role in a sense that everyone is expected to participate, especially those ones in the team that maybe are on the silent part, they do not like to talk. You can encourage them to participate, give them a role, give them a task that will make them contribute, that will force them to contribute towards that team. So these are ways that we can build team. Then promote team responsibility. You let the members of the team know that the responsibility of the team falls on each and every member of that team. Then establish the objective together. When we establish the objective of a team is known, definitely they will all key into it and work towards, achieving it. So let's look at key consideration in team building. One, we have motivation, unity and diversity, broader perspective, goal orientation, and determination. In building a team, there should be high motivation. What is that thing that we want to achieve in that team? So that should be the driving force of that team. And there should be unity and diversity. What do I mean by unity? It's not even supposed to be unity and diversity. It should be unity in diversity, meaning we should be united despite the fact that we are coming from various backgrounds, different experience, different ways of doing things. You should bring us together. We should be united in that knowledge, and there should be broader perspective. You should be open to broader perspective. As a team, don't limit the team progress or the team success based on your own experience, especially if you are a team lead. We should have broader perspective. Every member of a team should be allowed to contribute, no matter how strange their contributions might look like. And there should be goal orientation. Every member of that team should have it in mind that the purpose why we are coming together is to achieve a goal. We are not coming together to gist, but we are coming together for a particular goal. And how do we do that? Through tax distribution. Tax should be distributed evenly. That way, everyone has a goal in mind. And by the time you come together, such goal coming together will help the team to achieve its overall goal. And there should be determination, strong determination to achieve results. So let's quickly look at team dynamics. For in every team, they have a dynamics. It might not be written, it might not be obvious, but it is always there. You know, the first thing we have the team members. In every team, a team is made up of team members. Successful teams are made up of a collection of effective individuals. These are people who are experienced, have problem-solving abilities, are open to addressing problems, and are action-oriented. When you have effective team, you know, is a situation whereby members of such teams are handpicked based on their experience, based on the skills that they have. That way, everybody knows that they are coming to that team to contribute one thing or the other. On the other hand, where you have a less effective team and where people are just, you know, moved into a team, they don't know why they are being in that team. They don't even know what they need to contribute. They cannot see the value that they want to add in that team. When you have such situation, you see that teams are ineffective. Hello, are we together?
Yes.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes,
So,
Latanya.
yes.
Yes.
Okay. So the team dynamics I'm explaining here, the team dynamics for an effective team. And an effective team is a collection of individuals who have experience, who knows what they are even doing in that team. When we have cases of, you know, challenges in team is where members of team do not even know what they are doing in a team. Like when James shared, you know, when you shared your experience with us, you joined that team willingly, right? You join them because you feel I have something to add to the team. That way, when that leadership responsibility fell on you, fine, at first you were reluctant because you don't know if you can actually deliver, but you actually took up that role. So let's look at a scenario where someone does not even know what they are doing in a team. You did not even join the team. Somebody just told you that you have been added to a team. You don't know the purpose of the team. You don't know the objective of such a team. Definitely, that person, even if the leadership falls on him, the person can still decide to ignore. So when we are talking about effective team here, it's made up of people that are conscious of the objective and the purpose of that team. They have experience. They have something to add to that team. So I want us to, you know, focus on such a team, the dynamics of such a team. So that is our, you know, our focus of discussion here when we are talking about team dynamics. Another thing that we notice in a team dynamic is team relationship. For a team to be successful, the members of the team must be able to give and receive feedback. For a team to be successful, there must be relationship. There must be connection amongst team members. You don't work on your own. You don't work as a one-man island. You work with other members, you receive feedback, and you also give feedback. So there is a relationship in a team. And any team that lacks relationship cannot be called a team. Such team cannot achieve results. It's just as, you know, same thing as working individually. And another point that we need to note in team dynamics is team problem solving. An effective team depends on how focused and clear the goal of the team is. Like I mentioned earlier, an effective team and an effective team members, it depends, you know, on how focused, how clear the goal is. If an individual is in a team and they don't know the goal of that team, they don't know the purpose why they're in a team, they can never be effective in that team. They cannot be effective. But if they know the team, if they know the objective of that team, the purpose of that team, even if at first they are not dedicated, they are not focused, with time, as the team is flowing, as the team is evolving through the various stages of team development, they will eventually key into the goal of that team. And same goes for a team that is formed without a clear objective. Such a team cannot achieve any result. So our focus here is on an effective team. That is where the dynamics we are discussing, dynamics of an effective team. So a problem-solving team, has to be in a relaxed, comfortable, and accepting environment. They should be able to be relaxed amongst themselves. They should be comfortable and they should accept themselves. That way, we'll have an open and honest communication amongst themselves. So these key 3 factors I mentioned, it's present in everything. Though it might not be hard, it might not be a hard evidence for us to see, but it's something that is there. When there's team, you have team members, there's relationship with the focus of solving a problem or executing a task. I have I'm supposed to round up by 1, so I have less than 30 minutes, so I'll try and move on. So another dynamics of a team is team leadership. Every team needs a leader. Every team needs a leader. Otherwise, everybody will just be working, without any leadership, without any direction. From the example, if a common bed, like the illustration we gave earlier in our presentation, if a common bed, if they can move, with a leader in front, with a clear formation, a clear purpose, not to talk of human beings, we all need leaders. And also from the various experiences we've shared, like James and Abigail, when there was no leader present, maybe the current leadership, the person that is assuming that role is no longer available, there was a need for someone else to step into that role. That is to say that every team needs a leadership. Effective team leadership depends on, the leader competence. People in your team, they actually saw that you have that, attributes to be a leader. An effective leader is even a leader of the people. A leader where people choose you even before you can see something in yourself, but they are actually seeing something in you. Then you should be convinced that you are indeed a good leader because they have been seeing something in you. Why? On the other hand, an individual can just assume that I'm a good leader based on your own perception, not even how others are seeing you. And such person, fine, perform, but the one that people have actually seen, they've seen things in you that you do on your own, even when the spotlight is not on you. So such person has a tendency to be very, very effective. A competent leader is focused on the goal, ensures a collaborative climate. A competent leader ensures collaboration, that you work together. As a leader, you don't need to do everything. That you are a leader of a team does not mean you should be responsible, for doing everything, but you should have a knowledge of everything that is going on in your team. I don't know if I'm making a point. Hello, am I communicating? Are we together?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
okay.
Yes,
Just wanted to be sure that the network has not cut me off.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So as a leader, your job is to ensure a collaborative climate. Make sure that everyone in that team is working together. You are the connecting line, to every member of that team. So your job is to build a collaborative climate, build confidence of team member. Is it Latifa? Someone shared about, is it Adebola? Sorry, I didn't get her name. I can't remember her name now. She said in the current group where she is, she was able to discover some people's weakness and she placed them. I think you said they were doing 9 shifts. I think I'm trying to remember her name.
I was the one.
Okay, yes.
Latifat,
yes. So you said during the course of the program, you are able to identify some of your team members' strengths and their weakness, and you assign them to a place where they can be more effective. So that is the job of a leader, to build confidence, knowing fully well that every member of the team will have different strengths and weaknesses. So that is the job of a leader, to build confidence of the team members and also to set priorities. The team leadership should set priorities for the team, because if you don't have priorities, there will be distraction. Your other things will be coming up. And most importantly, a leader should demonstrate sufficient know-how. What do I mean by sufficient know-how? You should have an idea of everything that is going on. I have an experience to share. In one of the places that I work, I was the head of the department. I was made the head of the department. And that department has about 5 units. and there's a particular unit in that department that I did not know much about. What did I do? I had to take my time to study the units. Fine, I could not actually, if you ask me to work in that unit, as a full job, I might not be able to deliver, fully well. But I had to take my time to understand the functions of every unit. So if you are a leader of a team, you need to understand every task that you are giving out. You should have sufficient know-how of that task. If you are assigning a task for social media management, you should have sufficient know-how. You should know all the whole social media platform. So if you assign someone to manage social media and you don't even know the social media platform, so tell me, how do you lead such a group? It's not possible. If you're assigning someone to manage, okay, let's say the catering of an event, a particular person, and you don't even know the options that are available, you should have sufficient know-how of every task that is given out. Fine, you don't need to know everything, but it's sufficient to actually discuss with every team member and guide them towards that goal. And also, lastly, you should be able to manage the performance through feedback. Seek for feedback. As a team member, you should go around. How are you doing? Okay, what's the next thing to do on this job? What are your challenges? Where do you need me to help you? Do you need help somewhere? That is your job as a leader. Is not to actually do those particular tasks, but to make sure that every member that have been assigned that task, they are able to do it very well. You manage their performance. You find out how they are doing. You find out how they are doing. Find out where they need support. And that is where you come in. Effective delegation as a leader. Note that as a leader of a group, you must have sufficient know-how. It is very, very important. Another factor in team dynamics is the organizational environment. The climate and the culture of the organization must be conducive to team behavior. If you are in an organization where there's a toxic environment, where teams cannot even function effectively, there's always this external input. There's a team that has been put up by the management and the MD, and yet there's still interference from external factors. Such a team might not be able to function very well. So in every team, especially in an organization, there's always that organizational environment to consider. Is it that the organization gives that team the independence to work and achieve results, or they micromanage the team? But that organizational environment is present. It might just be a salient factor, but it is always present in the team dynamics. So having said that, we are going to move forward to look at the key factors to successful performance of a team. And the abbreviation for that is SCORE. We have SCORE. That is strategy. Every team should have strategy on how they want to achieve their goal. How do they want to, what is the strategy in place? There should be a clear role and responsibility. Clear role and responsibility for every team members. Even in a team of 5, everybody should have a role. That way you are sure that every member of the team will contribute their own quota. And there should be open communication. There should be open communication among the team, rapid response, and effective leadership. These 5 key factors are very important to the successful performance of a team. Why am I sharing this? Most of us might find ourselves in the position of team leadership, even when you are not ready for it, even when you did not go out of your way to secure that position. Just like some of our colleagues have shared with us today, such position might just fall on you. And how your knowledge of team dynamics, your knowledge of team management will go a long way to determine how successful the performance of your team will be. So have it in mind when you are given such a role. Think SCORE: strategy, clear role and responsibility, open communication, rapid response, and effective leadership. So now we look at how to be a good team player. It's not everybody that will be a leader. But as a team member, how do you be a good team player? How do you ensure that you're a good team player? You know, one thing some of us fail to understand when we are in a team, we just, you know, perform anyhow, but the pressure is usually on the team lead. Is on the team lead. But because we are not the team lead, we don't care. Or we know that you are just there, nobody is seeing you. But you are forgetting that that team lead position can actually fall on you. So you, as a team player, you are expected to behave in a way that you expect a team player to perform if you are a team lead. And one point is to use your strength. Use your strength. Coming into a team, if you're a member of a team, you should share your strength. You should let the members of your team know, oh, I'm actually good in this area. I'm good with research. I can, you know, research. I'm good with data analytics. I can analyze data, you know, put things together, gather information. I am, you know, I have good, you know, analytical skills. I'm good with, you know, calculations. You should let them know, you know, that this is my strength. You should use it so that with that, the team will be able to achieve their result. You should also understand the team's objective. If you find yourself in a team, whether consciously or unconsciously, what do I mean by consciously? If you actually volunteered yourself to be a member of a team, or you were just added to a team without your consent, but you are in an organization, they added you to a team because they feel, okay, you have something to add. The most important thing you should do is to understand the team's objective. That's the first thing you should do. Understand the objective of that team so that you will be able to contribute your own quota to help that team achieve its goal and be reliable. As a team member, you should be reliable. When a task is given to you, make sure you execute that task. Be a good communicator and stay flexible. What do I mean by staying flexible? Sometimes a task might be given to you and you'll be told a particular way to do it, which is different from the style that you are used to. So as a team member, you should be flexible. So let's look at the 12 C's of team building. Clear expectation, context, there should be clear expectation. The content should be clear. The context of communication should be very clear. If something is being said, it should be very clear that this is what we mean, this is what we imply. So there should be no room for individuals to interpret it in a way that they want, especially as a team leader or even as a team member. When you are communicating, you should be clear. The context of your communication should be clear. Commitment, competence, the charter of the team, that is the mission and the vision, should be clear. There should be control, collaboration, communication, effective, creative innovations, consequence, coordination, cultural diversity. Because of our time, I might not be able to explain all these points in details, but we'll have the slide later to go through them. So I want us to quickly look at building a high performance team. How do you build a high performance team? As the name implies, building, you know what building is, you know, putting things together, creating something out of nothing. High performance, you know, when performance is above, you know, expectation. And a team, which we've discussed, you know, a group of people coming together to achieve a goal. So how do you build such a team that will achieve, you know, above expectation? One, nip conflict in the board. When there is conflict in that a team, the conflict should be nipped immediately before it, you know, spreads out to other members of the team. We should encourage employee development, that is, encourage team members development, prioritize communication, say, you know, set feasible goals that can be achieved easily. Recognize your employees, that is, member of the team, then be a true leader. So lastly, before we have 20 minutes, I want us to look into the stages of team development. The stages of the team development. There are 5, some school of thought will tell you that there are 4 stages of school development and team development, while others will say there are 5. So I'm going to be looking at 4 and still mention the last one. So the stages of team development, I want to believe some of us will be aware of these stages, might have come across it, or attend other team development classes, you know, and we know about this, but we are still going to share share it with us. So we have the forming stage, the storming, norming, performing. And who can tell me the last one? You know, like I said, some school of thought will tell you there are 5 and some will say 4. So who can tell me the last stage of the team development? Hello? Unmute. If you want to say something, raise your hand and unmute. Hello? Are we together?
Yes, ma, we are with you.
Okay, so I want someone to tell me the last stage of team development. That is, if any of us have actually, you know, had of team development, stages of team development. Okay, so no one in the house. Okay, so the last stage of team development is the adjourning stage. So we are going to be looking at that briefly. So the first stage is the forming stage. This is the stage where team members come together, where they're selecting, where they are putting the committee together, they are putting names. Oh, this person should be part of this committee, this person should be part of this team. You know, when the teams are coming together, where they are defining the purpose of the team. Definitely, especially in an organizational setting, if a sub-team is being created, the purpose of the team is the first thing. Or they've created a purpose, they want to organize a seminar, or they want to launch a new product. That is the purpose of the team. So the next stage is to now select team members. Who are the people that should be in this team? So they now select people from different departments. Okay, this person is good with communication. This one is good with documentation. Okay, this person will handle research and development. This other person will handle the analysis of data. This other person will handle social media, publicity, you know, maybe design, graphic design, and all that. So that is the forming stage, the stage where the purpose of the group is being defined and members are selected and tasks are given. You know, they are bringing this person on board. Okay, you are good with documentation, so you are going to handle all documentations of all our meetings. They say, okay, B, okay, you are good with research, so you are going to carry out research on how we can launch our product, the markets that we can visit to launch our product, and other things. Then they identify the other person. Okay, you are going to handle the design of this new product, a design that will appeal to our customers. You know, that is the stage of group. That's the first stage of group development, the forming stage. Then we'll move on to the next stage, the storming stage. So they have formed this group. A purpose has been created. As I'm explaining this, I want us to relate it to the various groups that we found ourselves, the various teams that we found ourselves, and how we can, you know, identify these various stages, you know, from our experience. So after the forming stage, the next stage is the storming stage. You know, this stage, we have roles are challenged. People are coming together, they are brainstorming, they are having meetings, conflict is coming up, people are coming up with their decision. You know, that is where you start seeing some of the points that you have mentioned in the group, where there's a group, people don't make decisions on time, you know, there's conflict, they are challenging themselves, they are getting to know each other. You know, people are, you know, you see some people that feel that they know even your own task better than you. Imagine someone that has been assigned a role of research, trying to, you know, you leave your own part that is research and you're trying to suggest to someone that is managing social media on how they can go about publicity. You know, such things will definitely bring about, you know, conflict. True or false? Hello, are we together? True or false?
Yes, true.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. So when you have things like that, you feel
True,
that.
man.
Thank you. So you feel this person, you have your role. Why don't you face your task? You know, when you have things like that, because we are just coming together, we don't even know each other's strengths. We are still getting to know ourselves. And in the process of doing that, conflict might arise. So that is the stage, the storming stage of the group development, the team development. Then the third stage of the team development is the norming stage. At this stage, team has established norms, rules to resolve conflict. You know, the leaders, maybe then after the whole initial conflict, People are not getting to know themselves, you know, they are not adjusting to one another. You are knowing that you understand that, oh, this person is outspoken, this person is this person is that. So we are getting to understand each member of the team. Norms are being formed. We're establishing roles. You know, you're identifying leaders, especially when you see someone contribute and you know that, oh, this person actually knows what he's saying. At first, there might be conflict. When the person is contributing, you feel, oh, this person is doing too, I too know. But with time, you discover, members of the team will discover that, oh, this person actually knows what he's saying. I think we should listen to him. So that is the norming stage, when you are coming to an agreement with one another, roles are being established. You know, at this stage, there will be some unspoken norms, you know, about the meeting. And norms can either be productive, counterproductive, or harmless. You know, we have some examples of norms in a group, that I'll be sharing with you. You know, especially when you have a small team. If an outsider come, you know, sometimes they'll share insiders' jokes and you will not even know. You know, those are part of the things that are formed during the norming stage. They might have some jokes, inside jokes, that even an outsider might not be able to understand or interpret. So that is the norming stage. So at this level, they form some kind of habits, you know, some kind of norms. Example of norm is that, you know, they might always have 5 minutes fooling around before getting down to business. You have some teams like that. When they come, you see they will be gisting, chatting, laughing, before they, you know, go down to normal business. It might be productive, counterproductive, or harmless. Some people, an outsider will see it and see these people are not serious. But to the members of the team, maybe it's a way for them to ease up before they actually go into the main business of the day. So that is the norming stage. Norms always emerge, develop over time, especially after the storming stage. Norm will start coming up when they are now bonding together. The norming stage is when the bond is now forming, the bond amongst team members, they are now forming, and it develops over time. It's, you know, you just notice that there's a kind of generally unspoken agreement. People know that, okay, these are the people to listen to. This person actually knows what he's saying in this area. So that is the norming stage of a group. Then after the norming stage, we now move on to the performing stage. After we've gotten to know ourselves, we've disagreed to come to an agreement, now we start seeing the result. You know, during the norming stage, that is when they come to an agreement. They start putting plans together, you know, coming up with tasks, assigning tasks. At that point, there's no conflict. You know, you have identified who the true leaders in the team are. You know the people that actually know things, what they are saying, that can actually lead the team. So after the norming stage, you move on to the performing stage. You know, it is at the performing stage that things get done. That is where you start seeing the result of the team. You know, you've gone through all the whole drama of the team. You are not seeing the result of the team. So lastly, this stage is not usually applicable to all teams. You know, in the beginning, we mentioned different types of teams. There are some teams that they do not adjourn. Once they come together, it's a more permanent team. Adjourning stage of team development is found, you know, is present in the temporary team, like a problem-solving team, a tactical team, or even a team that just wants to come together to maybe organize an event in an organization. So after the event has been organized successfully, they will now come together, they will now do a review of the event, do reports and all that, and at the end, that team will be adjourned, meaning that the task has been accomplished and the team will be disengaged. Everybody will go their various ways. So that's why you see in some school of thought, they tell you that they only have 5 stages of team development. Why some will say, oh, some have 4, why the others have 5, including adjourning stage, because it's not every team that actually adjourns at the end of the day. Some teams are more permanent than the others. So let's look at, why do teams fail? Why do they fail? Team fails when their members follow individual goals. when you lose focus of the collective goal. Hello, are we together? Hello, are we together? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes, ma. Yes, ma.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. So team fails. Okay. So team. Hello. Can we mute? Yes. Kindly mute. Hello. Mute your speaker. Who is that person? Hello. Oh my God. Who is that? Please mute. Thank you. Okay. So.
You are muted, ma'am.
Yes, ma. Please continue, ma.
I think you are muted.
Muted.
Okay, I'm okay now. So the reason.
You are muted, ma'am.
You're muted. You're muted.
Oh, yeah, I'm okay now. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
Hello, can you hear me? Okay,
yes.
Sorry for that.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, yes, okay, sorry for that. So some team fail because individuals choose to follow their own goals. You know, they don't look at the objective of the team. This is why we are here. Some people, they have their own intrinsic, their own selfish objective that they want to achieve. Especially when, okay, for example, an organization, they have an event to host and they form some team that, okay, there's a product launch. Some people might join that team because they have selfish interest, not because of that particular product that they want to launch. Why the team, they are moving towards a direction, they are going towards another direction. And such behavior can lead to hostility within the group. Because by the time other team members start, requesting for the attention of that particular individual, it can lead to hostility, it lead to, confrontation. So it can also lead to withdrawal from the group. When such an individual, is not accepted, once that person, you will see you are in conflict with other members of the group. Before you know, that person will withdraw, and that person might be a vital person, might be playing a very important role in that group. But because the individual has his or her own, private and the agenda aside from that of the group, it will lead to that discord between him or her and the entire group, and such individual might withdraw from the group. And also, such behavior, when team members follow their own personal objective, it can lead to lack of trust. You don't trust what people are doing. You don't trust whether they are here to get money. Sometimes you have cases of where teams come together, especially fundraising team, and start hearing stories of how people, keep some of the funds raised, they divert it to their own personal needs. So such things will lead to lack of trust and raising power struggles, especially when you feel, oh, this person in a group, they are doing something to benefit their own personal need. Such behavior and other things that we don't have mentioned here, it can lead to the failure of a team. So lastly, before we round up, I want us to ask ourselves, what do you contribute to your team? Are you currently in a team? Are you a member of a team? What do you contribute to a team? Are you a bench warmer? Do you just go there to sit? Are you adding value? Are you making impact? Or you are just there? So I want us to ask ourselves that question: what do I contribute to my team? What do I contribute to a task? Not just a team. If a task is being given, what do you contribute? Do you try to contribute your little quota to that task? And what can you do differently? If you are in this forum today and you are in a team, you don't have that team spirit, you should also ask yourself this question: what can you do differently in the future? At this junction, I want to say thank you very much for taking out your time to listen. I don't know if you have questions. My time is up. My time is up. So if you have questions and contribution, I think, thank you. I can see the clapping, even if I can't hear it. Thank you. So at this junction, if you have questions, contribution, I would like to listen to them. Your questions and contributions, please. Please, we can take 5 minutes for that. Questions, let me look through. Okay, my time is up. Yes, I'm true. Okay, so questions, contributions. Questions? Okay, in the absence of any question, contribution, thank you once again for having me. And I wish you success in the remaining period that you have to spend in this program. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Good afternoon, ma.
Good afternoon.
Thank you, Madam Loretta. Thank you very much for taking out your time out of your busy schedule to facilitate this session. We really say thank you. And you were able to go into the basics of team building, teamwork, and everything. And thank you very much for taking your time to do that. Thank you very much. So I will follow you up on via email and WhatsApp. Thank you very much for your time. We really appreciate you. Thank you.
Okay, so I'm free to leave, right?
Yes, ma. You are free to leave, ma. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Yes, ma. So for the remaining of the class, thank you for coming. So this is the first session of the class, team building and teamwork and collaboration skills. So the second session will be on effective communications. But to quickly address some little things that I saw during this session, which I don't think is acceptable, I saw some people eating during the class, and I will mention names specifically. So you address that issue. Gloria Indiana was eating throughout the class, which I don't know the reason for that. Probably because we are not at American Corner, so you feel this could be done at this point, and that is not acceptable at all. I thought of removing you from the class, but on the other hand, I just felt like you didn't get a warning beforehand. But if that ever happens from any other person, we will be forced to remove you from the class. Another thing is that I specifically told people to use their full names as their usernames. I can still see JB. I can still see Arabic names in the username. And I specifically chatted JB, for example, to change that username to his full name for attendance purposes so that we can know who is who in this class. But till now, that name has not been changed. And I'm even seeing additional person with an Arabic name in the background. Another thing, before this class, I specifically told everyone to be in a conducive environment. And that didn't happen during this class. In fact, when somebody unmuted herself or himself, who the person is, we could hear Muslim songs in the background, which was interfering with the class we were having. I don't think all this is acceptable at all. And it distracted the class a whole lot. But I didn't want to stop the class to address these things. Please and please, please and please, majority of the classes that we'll be having from now on is an online class, is an online session. You have to behave appropriately, please, so that we don't have to start speaking to each other like kids and things like that. I think we've had a smooth running so far. Probably this is the first time. Let's say that's why we are having this issue. Please, if it continues like that, you will be removed from the class and you won't be allowed to come in back again. Please, for the next session, I hope to see some changes. So the next session will start by 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock, effective communication skills. So we expect everybody to be around. So for you people that complained your system is on 9%, you want to charge, so this is the time to charge so that you can come in for the next session. I will do the same too because my system is low. So thank you everyone for your time. Have a wonderful time. If you have any questions, any objection to what I've said, you can speak to it before we leave.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Have a wonderful time. See you by 2 o'clock.
Thank you, sir. Bye.